on government operations to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Kniezek. Commissioner Clark Coleman. Commissioner Basham.
Here.
Commissioner Colleen.
Present.
Chair Dobb.
Here.
You have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I have none. Next item.
C, approval of the June 15th, 2022 meeting minutes.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next item.
B, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Next item.
Item 1, under new business, requesting commission approval of a 1-year comparable source contract with the 1-year option to renew with Ultimate Staffing Services, a division of Rock Staffing Companies.
Do we have any questions on item number 1? Commissioner Colleen.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I have a few questions on this, and I'm also going to reference the recent letter that all commissioners received from the county clerk regarding the vacancies over there. So this contract is for 12 temporary positions for 1 year with an option renew for an additional year. And they are classified in this contract as clerk specialists. And what we received from the county clerk recently, where she gave us a chart of how many budgeted positions which are paid for in the budget for her. And how many of those budgeted positions are still vacant. She's budgeted for 45 clerk specialists. There are 28 vacancies. And again, these are paid for positions in the budget. There's also a category of clerical specialists, of which there's 13 budgeted positions for her, and there's 10 vacancies. So I have a few questions here as to why we're going to temporary employees, which are going to be billed at a rate of $25 an hour. The clerical staff for these temporary positions are going to get $15 an hour, and $10 an hour goes to the staffing firm. So it's $25 an hour. If we already have budgeted positions, why are we not hiring county employees that are already paid for in the budget to do this, rather than going to temporary employees? So I guess my questions are, as a clerk specialist, if it's a county job, what is called for in the collective bargaining agreement as an hourly rate for clerk specialists? And I think we also have to say, in addition to that, whatever that pay scale is, what the benefits, how much benefits would those positions receive if they were county? Because I want to compare the cost here. I don't understand why we're hiring temporary when we should, in my opinion, we have budgeted county jobs, bargaining unit work that are already paid for in the budget. So I want to compare the cost here and get some understanding as to why we're going this way instead of hiring full-time county employees into those jobs. What is the hourly rate under the collective bargaining agreements for clerk specialists, which is the same job classification as is spoken to for the temporary? And then what is the cost of the benefits for those jobs on top of the hourly rate?
This Dwayne Seals, Deputy Wayne County Clerk, Chief Financial Officer. Through the chair, Commissioner Clean, we also feel exactly the way you feel as
Yes,
far as budget.
Mr. Seals,
Yes,
I'm sorry, just a moment. Is there any way we can turn the volume up on, oh, okay. Mr. Seals, can you either move closer to your
Yes.
microphone or just speak up a little bit? We're having trouble. hearing.
okay, can you hear me now? Is it better?
That's a little better. Thank you.
Okay, let's see if I can, let me get the speaker on my,
Use your outside voice.
okay. All right, let me see, I'm gonna see if I can get if I can turn the speaker up a little bit on this. Okay, oh, yes, this is better now? Can you hear me now better now?
Oh, yes,
yeah.
that's better.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. My speaker was turned up. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, Commissioner Clean, through the chair, we agree with you 100%. We approximately have about 95 to 100 vacant positions in the Wayne County Clerk's office, and they're clerical specialists, clerical positions, as well as court clerk. Now, these 12 individuals actually just approved a contract a few weeks ago for another 12. These positions are actually paid out of excess funds from vacancies. We have done everything possible to try to get full-time employees in. We've actually done job fairs. The clerk herself has gone out on the riverfront at every event to try to get more individuals out. We talk with personnel. We're doing everything possible to hire. As you know, because of the rate of pay and the fact that the benefits is not really attractive in today's market, it's very difficult for us to get employees. Now, as far as the pay here, $25 is approximately what it costs us per full-time employee, including all benefits that they will receive as a full-time employee. So we're not paying them more than what a full-time staff will get. But again, these employees are only paid, they're actually in place of full-time because they're vacancies. So as we're able to hire more individuals, we will actually let those temporary employees go. Or hopefully that these temporary employees would want to become full-time employees and they would come into the union.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Thank you for that, Mr. Seal.
Sure.
What is the hourly rate separate from benefits for a clerk specialist if they were in the bargaining unit in Wayne County? What's just the hourly rate for them?
Hold on, let me pull it up right now. Hold on a second. It's approximately about $18 an hour.
And then the benefits that they would receive would be roughly another $7 an hour?
Exactly. We looked at per employee what it costs. It costs approximately somewhere between almost $25 to $26 an hour for a full-time position to come in, including benefits and everything.
And I understand that you've been trying to hire to these positions.
Exactly, sir.
And I'm a little bit of a loss as to how us offering $18 plus benefits, we can't find people for, but a staffing firm can find people at $15 an hour.
Well, remember the individuals are, Commissioner Clean through the chair. We've also asked that question. In fact, we've actually had an increase. And usually these are very transit individuals. Sometimes they come in, they work a month or two, and they leave for whatever reason. They don't want a full-time job. But there are some constraints as being a full-time employee for Wayne County. For example, a person has to, they have to pay for parking. So now you knock that $18 down. They start having to pay for their health care. That number gets knocked down even more. They start paying other expenses they have to pay. So it gets to the point where we're just not paying enough. We've actually increased that pay, was increased, I think. This honorable body actually did give increase to some of the clerk staffing. However, we still have a trouble. And this is a situation we've talked with personnel over and over, and they're telling us that they're having a trouble here. It's not something that's unique to the clerk's office.
Because this commissioner is very concerned about the number of vacancies you have over there, and considering that they are paid for in the budget, that we could hire into them. Who ran the attempts at hiring these positions? Was that an initiative of the clerks?
Excuse me. The first staffing, our first temporary agency was something with Kelly Services, and that was actually brought to us by the administration. They came to us and told us, try using Kelly Services. I guess they spoke with, did whatever was necessary as far as with the union to make something like that happen. It wasn't, this wasn't originally brought to us. It was brought to us by administration. We've only just said, okay, can we keep this going until we can get employees? But no, Ms. Garrett would 100% prefer to have full-time employees. And again, this was brought to us by, I think at the time was purchasing director, Aaron Wagner.
It's a difficult environment doing these meetings by Zoom, Mr. Seals. So I want to go through this rather carefully and make sure what I'm hearing is the same thing as to what you're saying. Did the clerk have a hiring effort that the clerk did to hire to these positions as full-time county employees?
Exactly. I know the clerk participates. I know on her website, as far as all the information she gives out, she has a very aggressive campaign as far as looking to hire. She goes. I know she's going out to events that she's invited to. We set up a table. I think there's one being set up next week. I know there was a couple set up a couple weeks ago where we set up a table and we kind of have a fair. We invite individuals to come and help them to recognize that there's positions out there as well. We've done everything possible. We've talked to outside agencies looking at other programs. She's trying to do whatever she can to get individuals here. We're at a point now that it becomes very difficult for us to provide operations with the staffing that we have. And this temporary service is just another avenue she's trying to employ to continue to provide the services that she's been able to provide for all the years she's been here.
So the clerk's office did have an effort to hire people at $18 an hour plus benefits, and could not get people to take the jobs for that?
Exactly. In fact, those positions are open currently now. Like I said, these are just, we just have just these 12 temporary positions and another temporary 24. We still have positions open. We have been currently been taken. This is not something just happened in the last couple of weeks. This is something that's been going on for over a year now, longer. And so therefore the clerk, as you know, is not as far as recruitment, really falls upon the county. It falls upon the personnel and HR. Wayne County Clerk has just she's actually taken responsibility of going out to do more to try to recognizing that is deficient, is not able to bring in employees. So she's been participating in county job fairs. She's promoted on social media, everything possible. So yes, there's a person out there that wants a job. Please come, and they can get there. We prefer them to be full-time employees.
So that is the hope down the road, that we can at least from the clerk's perspective, that some of these temporary positions you can recruit into full-time county employees?
Yes. And
Is it also the position of the clerk's office that, given the efforts that have gone on out there to hire these full-time positions that are already in the budget and paid for, that despite all those efforts, that the clerk's office is in support of this contract to hire temporary employees?
I think I'm missing, I think I missed your question. Are you asking, is the clerk in support of bringing in temporary employees?
And so I didn't hear the end of that. In support of this contract with Ultimate Staffing?
Is the clerk in support of this contract?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, she's at this point of trying to do whatever to get employees into. I mean, there's nothing more. I mean, in fact, I think there's a clause in the contract that states that after so many months, if they turn out to be sufficient employees, that we would actually look to see if they would come on board and hire quite a few to actually come on and become full-time employees. But again, remember, what we're paying, we're not asking for any extra money. We're paying for these individuals out of surplus from vacancies that we have. So if there's no vacancies, there's no surplus, so we would need these employees.
Okay. Again, thank you for that, Mr. Steels. But I remain concerned that we have full-time paid for budget positions in our budget. And this is not the first time that we have backfilled those with non-represented temporary employees from outside employment firms. And as a long-term strategy for the county, because we're all familiar with your shortages over there in the clerk's office and how that has hampered your ability to deliver services. But at the same time, I believe we have to deal with these open, paid for, full-time county employee positions that are already in our budget and hire full-time county employees into those paid for positions. So I want you, Mr. Seal, to understand where I'm coming from on this. This concerns me greatly because all we're going to do is take the money that's already in the budget for your vacant positions, and we're going to use that to pay for these positions. And it's a wash. It's almost a dollar for dollar wash.
Exactly.
And I have great difficulties in supporting that kind of a way of going forward for the county, especially since this isn't the only place that we have done this as a county, not to hire into the full-time paid for positions, but go to outside employment agencies to fill those positions. So thank you for your answer, Mr. Seals, and thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I would like to make it clear too also, this is really a second option for the clerk. This is not her first. Her option is, along with Commissioner Clean, is that she would like full-time employees. This is just only something she's doing, trying to fill the gap. This is not her first option. This is not her preference to have temporary employees, but it's to fill the gap. I want to make sure that's clear here.
Understood. Thank you, Mr. Seals. Do you have any other commissioner questions on item number 1? Yes, Commissioner Clark Coleman.
You know, I can say that I go back long enough at one period of time when they had Kelly girls. When they couldn't get employees, and they used Kelly girls as temporary. And the one thing that it allowed them to do is to watch these and monitor these temporary employees. And if they turned out to be good workers, they would then offer them a job. and bring them on as full-time employees. I hope that that is what the clerk's office plans to do with this temporary service.
Let's, oh, I'm sorry, let's take items number 1 and 2 together. So Madam Clerk, next item.
Item 2, requesting commission approval of a one-year sole source contract with Oracle America.
Questions on item number 2? Hearing none, can I get a motion for items number 1 and 2? Moved by Commissioner Knizik. Can I get support?
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Basham. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes.
I'd like to be recorded as a yes on number 2, and for reasons I've already spoken to, a no on item 1. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, next item.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
Have none. Next item.
Public comments,
Have we received any emails?
no emails.
Is there anyone in the gallery who would like to make a public comment at this time? You may come up to the podium. Is there anyone on Zoom or on the phone who would like to make a public comment? Okay, last call for public comments. Hearing none, next item.
Adjournment.
Or
Moved and supported. All those